Get started. Good morning. Happy February 5th. It's Fierce Friday once again with the Million Mom Movement. My name is Jody Parker and I am one of 6 council members on the Million Mom Movement Council. And I'm so glad you all decided to join us today. So welcome, welcome. There are 6 of us, and I want to make sure that you know, well, not all 6 of us are on today because Stephanie Dawn, our council chair, is currently in Costa Rica doing all kinds of fun vacation healing like stuff. And so she's not here with us today. And Rebecca Johns could not be with us today, but Carmela, Tass, Naeva, I'm missing some. No, that's 4 of us, right? So go ahead and write council in the comments so people who can see who you are and can put the face with the name. Also want to give a shout out to Rachel. Did you hear my daughter? She's going, Rachel, Rachel, Rachel. Can't forget Rachel, who is our admin. Well, what do we call you, Rachel? She's like the person who connects us to corporate, and we love her and she saves our butts all the time. So she needs a better title. Tess is laughing at me. So History of Fierce Friday, let me just tell you what this is really quickly. If you are new to Fierce Friday, can you please drop a 1 in the chat so we know, because I don't want to give you the history if you've heard this history every day for a year. But if you're new, I'd like to give you a little bit of background, or if you're watching this recording, Fierce Friday was begun as an effort to bring attention to the fact that our entire food system is being sprayed with glyphosate. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup, and most of us think of that as something we spray on our dandelions, but it's really in about 80% of our food supply, and it's causing a lot of chronic health conditions. And I'm going to let Naeva go a little bit further into that in a second, but that's how we started. But then we started realizing that we have lots and lots of topics to talk about. We start with our superfoods, with our clean nutrition, but then we realize that the act of living clean and living healthy encompasses so many different things, and being sort of the activism arm of our superfood company, Purium, Fierce Friday morphed into this educational platform where we can really get fierce and go out there and be the change we wish to see in the world. And so that is where you find us now, a year later. But let me start by introducing my fellow council member, Taz Ferreira, because we have a pledge that goes along with being a part of the Million Mom Movement. So Taz, if you could take it away, please.
Thank you so much, Jody. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen to bring up this pledge. Okay, this pledge for me, I take to heart. And it's almost like pledging an allegiance. You know, I put my hands on my heart and I say this pledge with such pride. Okay, so let's do it together. I pledge to defend the health of my family and of myself. I pledge to reject GMOs, artificial ingredients, trans fat, and over-processed foods. I pledge to educate myself, read labels, and lead by example. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health of our future generation. I am committed to sharing this mission until we are a million mom strong. But that is also a movement of many. So this pledge is amazing. You know, I love putting this pledge on our fridge. I know we're coming up with some swag that we're going to make magnets. And the whole point of this is to share it, right? We need to share this movement with others. I have a story this morning from one of my recipients. You know, she was having Zoom calls and talking about our movement and spreading this awareness. And you know what happens? Her daughter was listening. And when her daughter was at school, her daughter started sharing this with her class. And then what happens? The class reached out to that mom and asked, can you come in and share this with the entire class? This is what we're all about, of sharing this movement with others. It's a movement of many, right? So the way we can do that is through bringing them onto the Fierce Friday calls. Imagine if we can have a live stream into the classrooms that the whole class watches this. Wouldn't that be amazing? So bring them onto the Fierce Friday calls. direct them to our Facebook group, the Million Mom Movement group on Facebook. And we also have our Instagram. We have the Million Mom Movement on Instagram, and that is run by our very own Naiva Flory from Hawaii. So we need to make that Instagram page over 10,000 followers. So please follow us and share that page. Also, we have our petition that can you please share that, because we have all the toxicity in everything. So that's another way that you can share it. And we have our Million Mom Movement page, millionmommovement.info. And on this page, you can join and you can share the petition about Cheerios. And that Naiva will go into in a second. And there is also the pledge that's there. And you know what? We have recipes and we have an amazing blog. So if you guys have not checked out the blog yet, I highly encourage it. Well, thank you so much. And I'm passing it to you, Naiva, from the beautiful Hawaii.
Hey, aloha, everyone. Excuse me, it's still early here. I'm still waking up. And it is my honor to have gotten to be a part of this Million Mom Movement Council for the past couple of years, and even more to be able to share through the social media platforms. But what I'm most passionate about, and many of you know this about me, is I'm really passionate about the toxicity of our food and the quality of our food that we're feeding our families. Many people don't know that out here in Hawaii, we are kind of ground zero for GMO foods and where they spray glyphosate. You may not know this, but on the continent, it takes 7 generations to create a hybrid seed. Okay, so that would take 7 years in Nebraska or Oklahoma or anywhere on the continent. Whereas here in Hawaii, we have very mild climate changes. So we don't really have 4 seasons like we do. It doesn't snow here, it doesn't get very cold. And so they're actually able to produce 4 seasons per year. What does that mean? That means in Hawaii, they can create a hybrid GMO seed in under 2 years, you guys. 7 generations in under 2 years. So what that means, a GMO seed is made to withstand a chemical called glyphosate. It's the main ingredient in Roundup. And so when they plant this seed and they create this hybrid seed that can withstand this chemical, then when you spray it on the corn or the wheat or the soy, the other weeds will die. All the living organisms on there, if there's any bugs on there, they'll die. But this seed that's made to withstand this chemical lives. And so what happens is that we then harvest that for food, either for ourselves or for our animals. A lot of this corn, I had a conversation once with somebody that grows GMO corn, and they said, don't worry, it's just cow feed. And I said, it's cow feed. What do people do with those cows? They drink the milk. They give the milk to their small children in their cereal. They might eat the meat from the cows. Same goes for the chickens. And so that's where my mind went when they said, oh, don't worry about it. It's just animal feed. We don't eat this corn. So what happens when the animals eat this? Well, it causes disease in their body. But the thing about glyphosate is it doesn't wash off or cook off at any time, and it stays active and keeps killing living organisms throughout its journey. So it gets sprayed on the food. The corn gets made into feed for animals or into cereals or maybe even into corn syrup. Almost everything has corn syrup in it, right? So it then gets made into corn syrup. It gets put into all of the snacks that we feed our children. And then we're eating those unknowingly. So many people in the world are eating foods that are toxic without even knowing it. And it's not that they're putting glyphosate as an ingredient in the food. It happens to be a byproduct of the ingredients that they're using, because the ingredients they're using are conventional or GMO, genetically produced. And so it's really important that we try to buy organic as often as possible. And with that, so what happens is then we eat that and it actually starts to deteriorate our own gut lining. And that's when people start to get leaky gut, inflammation, and so many other diseases, because we know that inflammation is the main cause for so many other ailments in the body. And so this is where it becomes really important for us to detox this chemical from our body, make healthier choices, right? So we have that Biomedic, which is an incredible product. Taz mentioned that we have a really great petition around this. So we would love to encourage you to sign that petition. You can find it in the link in our bio on our Instagram page. I also created an event on our Million Mom Movement Facebook page. There's an event for our petition. So if ever you're like, I can't find the petition anywhere, go to the Million Mom Movement page on Facebook, click on the events tab, and you'll see our Fierce Fridays, our Million Mom Movement Power Hour that we have once a month, and you'll see our petition is there too. So I would love for you guys to know where to find those events, and especially where to find that petition. The other thing that we've started is a giveaway. We want to give away a Biomedic and the Toxin That Came to Dinner book that explains the issue with this chemical and all the issues that it can create in our body. There's incredible graphs in there that I personally just love the visual of seeing graphs. Somebody's off mute. Would you mind muting? I'm getting distracted. So it's really incredible product, and the book to help educate you not only about what Biomedic does, but why it's so important right now for us to share it with other people that we love. So I would love to encourage you, like Taz mentioned, it's on our Instagram page. So go over to our Instagram, follow that page, and then participate in that giveaway so that you can have a chance to win. But even more importantly, share that giveaway in your stories, share that giveaway, tag people that you would want to win that giveaway so that they can also participate and have a chance to win. Maybe people that you've been talking to about Biomedic specifically, or the ultimate lifestyle transformation. This is just another tool that you can use to inch them along and give them an opportunity to educate themselves a little bit more and to be able to possibly win a free product, because everybody loves to win free stuff. So that's something that I'm really happy to be able to share with you all. We're going to do the drawing on February 15th. And then lastly, I just wanted to share that we also have a Twitter page. So everything that we post to Instagram and Facebook also goes to our Twitter page. I personally am not on Twitter, but it gets shared there. So if you have people on Twitter, you can find us there. You can find us on Facebook, and you can find us on Instagram. Those are our main social media platforms. And we encourage you to follow us. Like Taz said, part of our goal behind this giveaway is to have the Million Mom Movement Instagram page become an influencer page with over 10,000 followers. We're almost to 3,000, you guys. We're just a couple hundred away. So keep tagging your friends, keep sharing that post, and let's grow that page, because what does that do? When you have an Instagram page that is at that level where they have 10,000 followers or more, you can have the swipe up feature where we can start promoting our blog more. We can start promoting our family nutrition pack more. And we can also promote our Fierce Fridays better through actually just having a swipe up link where people can come to our Zoom. How amazing is that? So let's make that page an influencer page. And it is my honor to repost anything that you guys post. So make sure and use our hashtags, #MillionMomMovement, I am the Million Mom Movement, or we are the Million Mom Movement. Those are the hashtags we've been using. And I can't wait to see your posts and share your stories on our platforms. And aloha for now. I'm going to pass it back.
Thank you guys. Appreciate that so much. So much information, and we're 15 minutes in. And we're going to pivot a little bit because it is February. We all associate February with love and hearts, and whether it's a Hallmark holiday or not, it's still a good reminder that this taking care of ourselves, being healthy, it's not just about our physical well-being, it's also about our emotional well-being and even our energetic and spiritual well-being. And so when we were discussing what are we going to do in February, of course we came up with how do we address those different parts of taking care of ourselves and really truly loving ourselves. And when I'm talking about loving ourselves, I'm not just saying, hey, I love you, and giving you a hug, although you're gonna laugh at me right now, but I did that and it made me smile. So everybody, you have to give yourself a hug now. Because seriously, try it. It makes you feel better, doesn't it? I didn't even realize it, and I did. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. We should do that. But I digress. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about ways, behaviors, lifestyles that actually support that sense of loving ourselves. Because what does that mean? It's not just an emotion, right? It's action, it's behavior, it's lifestyle, it's making choices that up-level our entire life. And so as a council, we were going to discuss today what we do in our own lives to do that. But what I really want is to be able to open it up to the field today and have you guys participate with us. And so I'm going to start us out a little bit. And with the first tier, remember I mentioned physical, emotional, and spiritual. So physical, we talked about, we're giving away a biomedic on February 15th. Well, that is also the day that we are starting the family nutrition reset. And so I want all of you to have that in your mind, because part of loving yourselves is taking care of your physical body. This is the vehicle through which we go through our lives in. And just like we, take a shower out on the outside, taking our green drinks, eating that healthy food is like taking a shower from the inside. And when you think of it like that, you go, oh, maybe I should do that more often. So heads up, have everybody in your life get that family nutrition pack. And you can find it under bundles on iShopPurium. And starting on the 15th, we're going to be doing a 2-week family makeover for 4. And we will be, I will go live to start us that day. Tass and I next Wednesday night are doing the mega Zoom for the entire company and talking about this. And so you can come invite all your people. They can get the idea of what's happening and join us to up-level that physical aspect. And then the only other thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to pass it on to Carmela. So, because we haven't heard from Carmela yet today, so she gets to go first. But the only other thing I'm going to talk about in relation to loving yourself that I think personally we don't think about a lot is how we carry ourselves through the world and how we see ourselves. Because right now, especially in a group like this, the Million Mom Movement, we tend to be activists and we tend to kind of, cause some friction. And being very in tune with yourself and really believing in who you are and the message that you're speaking definitely changes the way it is delivered into the world. And if you are doubting yourself, and if you are unsure of yourself, it is a lot harder to live your passion in the world and be the change you wish to see in the world. Because if I'm talking like this, I don't seem very passionate. And if I don't look at you and I kind of rock around, it's much harder to hear my message. And you know that I'm not sure about my message. But if I'm looking at you, and you can see right now, I'm looking right in the camera at every single one of you, and I believe in this. I believe in loving myself physically, emotionally, spiritually. I meditate every day. I eat only organic food. I make my children process their emotions. Like, this is my lifestyle. This is who I am, and I fully claim it. And for me, that is an act of loving myself. So I am going to pass that on to Carmela, and I want everybody else thinking she can pass it on to our other 2 council members, and then we're going to open it up. Carmela, take it away. Thank you.
Awesome introduction, Jody. Thank you. Yeah, so different aspects of the self, right? For self-care, self-love. I used to own a yoga studio, and there was a wonderful practitioner who came on, and she was a meditation guru for Tantra. And I'll never forget this exercise that she taught me specifically about food, because of course we gather here often because we're a community that loves food, and specifically organic food and detoxifying food. But there's something called food yoga. And it's when you close your eyes and you have your children taste and tell them to ask them what they're experiencing. Because the key is so many people in society, they eat on the run. They eat without thinking. They don't connect what they're eating to how they're feeling. And this is a problem. This is not okay. And we as parents, we as caregivers, we can make a difference by creating rituals around food. And what's so great about with children is that we get to have a one-on-one question answer. When I was a child, I was growing up, and all my elders, they always asked me a ton of questions. So, it's really important is that they wanted me to engage in the world, and what my thoughts were about food that I ate were not healthy back then, to be honest. And so if I'd been asked, it would be very different situation. So as I was taking on this practitioner's advice, have these conversations over a meal. And, what do you like about this dish? Tell me what you could change or add differently. What would be even better? and have them engage with what we're doing as a practice. And what I do is I only have light music on, never TV, never external information, never tablets, never phones. Like, it's a ritual, no technology. Because when you eat, it's enough. It's enough. It's plenty of information that your body's taking in. And then we get to talk about it. So that's just in relation to the Million Mom Movement, because it's something that I personally always do with my children. Food shopping. I just got back from a massive food shopping, and my daughter and I look, and she has to ask me of approved foods. And so she knows labels, and she's that child, and the ones in the council are all like us, where we have our children know that labels matter. We read them, we look for specific certified organic labels or non-GMO, and we talk about ingredients. So that's really important. The food shopping, food yoga. And then I was thinking, on the more mental health side, we take mental health days as a family. Why? Because kids, they're stressed out too. They come home from school and they're like, oh, I just want to relax, and I just want to, stop thinking of all these things, and maybe be more creative, be in their room, and have prepared for them all kinds of things that they would love to play with, like artistic, creative things that they can make things with. That's a big part. And then ask them, like, after they've made something, well, how did you make this? And what made you think of this? And because it's a different brain, right? School and education, and they're homeschooling mamas out there. There's definitely like specific areas that we look at, but we have to have mental health days. And, even for a lot of adults these days, they're doing like that coloring, those coloring books for mental health. And I do it with my daughter. And it just, while we're doing it, we're just looking at the colors, wanting it to match, and then we talk. And that brings a certain, you need to have that connection. That's what I always remember growing up as a child, having the elders do activities with me that encouraged healthy, balanced conversation, not like we're just on, always ships in passing and they're the adults, they're the adult table. I integrated with the adult table. I always want them to know that there are times we have a down time, because when school starts again, we have to be focused and disciplined. Without these types of like clear connection times, I find things get lost. So the topic was self-love, but really for me, discipline and love come together. And if we don't really activate our voices and know we're empowered to change their lives this way, and I really allow you and give you permission to stand your ground with what you know is right and good for raising these children. I passed the mic. So I'm not sure who goes next. Let's pass the mic on to Taz. Take it away, Taz. I'd love to hear
Thank
yours.
you so much, Carmela. Okay, so self-love. Okay, let me take it a little deeper. You know what's the ultimate self-love for me? Saying yes to yourself. Okay? But the word self-love is already there. But when you saying yes to yourself, this actually brings a consciousness of what it actually means. Okay? And this is what I struggled with. Boundaries in my life, saying no to some situations. No, I cannot be on a call past 6. No, I will not work on the weekends. Saying no and allowing and giving myself the permission. It's okay. This is an extension of self-love. And with the superficial things like manicures, pedicures, these are so superficial that it wasn't enough for me I was still depleting myself. So I was depleting myself as I'm doing, everything else to self-care. But what I really needed to do was self-care of my soul. Take time for myself. Maybe go and enjoy that bathtub that I had installed, right? And another thing that I struggle with, like I am sharing with you about self-love, what I struggle with. Exercise. I bought every exercise equipment. I bought a Pilates reformer. I bought a spin bike. I have them there. I was so determined to get them. And once I got them, I'm like, but I don't have time. I don't have time. Why do I not have a time? Because I did not make those priorities in my day to have the time. Of course, we have the time, but what are our priorities? And what boundaries are we setting up for ourselves, for our day, right? So those are my self-love of exercising more, mental health of saying yes to myself first and setting clear boundaries with my friends, with my husband, with my entire family, and making time for them. You know, after 6, no, I can't have a call. This is family time. Of course, I'm homeschooling, I'm with them all day, but it's a different kind of mom. When you're homeschooling, you're in like teacher mode. Did you get that done? Is that done? You're not in a loving, paying attention to them on a different level moment, right? So I've decided this month especially to put them first and to put myself first. So that is my self-care for this month, guys. Who else wants to jump in and tell us about your self-care?
I love that, Taz. I'll hop in after you just real quick. Love everything you shared. And I was totally relating to you in the aspect of like, we all buy these things to help us, encourage us to do more of what we want to do, exercise and things like that. And then, they just kind of sit there. And so while you were saying that, I was reflecting on my own habits too of that. I got a jump rope. I jumped rope for like 3 days in a row. And then I was like, well, that was fun. I remember doing that when I was 9. And same thing, I have a yoga ball. I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably do like some crunches and do some yoga ball fun. And then like the idea goes out of my mind. I start doing dishes and laundry and everything else. And then I never get, and then by the time the evening comes, I'm like, the yoga ball's still staring at me. I haven't gotten on it, right? So I know it's true. We're all busy moms. We're doing so much for our families or dads or caregivers in general. And so it's true for all of us. I'm sure we all have a couple of those things that we've done. We got them and put it up on the shelf and it looks at us once in a while and we see it and, we pull the curtain over it so we don't have to look at it or feel guilty. But the suggestion that I want to offer is, first of all, a suggestion to myself is like, when I have the thought, just do it, even if it's for 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is better than nothing and it'll make you feel amazing. But something I've been trying to practice more and more in my own life is a miracle morning routine. I'm curious how many of you currently do a miracle morning routine. It's a really great way to wake up in the morning and do something for yourself. What it means is like, when you wake up, don't pick up your phone right away, right? Maybe give it an hour before you pick up your phone. Make yourself a rule. If you wake up at 6, maybe don't pick up your phone till 8 or 8:30, whatever time that you start your day, obviously, depending on how your day's going. But give yourself an hour or two to wake up in the morning. Fuel yourself, do something that makes you happy. Myself, I love going on a really early morning bike ride. I've been going on a bike ride around the block for the past couple months since I got my new bike. And it makes me feel so good. I get to watch the sunrise as I'm going around the block because when I leave, it's like still kind of dusk. And it's so beautiful out. The air is still nice and crisp and cool. So I don't have the anxiety of like, I'm going to get super sweaty because I'm just one of those people that doesn't like to get sweaty. And so those are one of my aversions to like working out. I'll like do yoga for 15 minutes. I'll be like, okay, I'm sweating, I'm done. But something that really encourages me is if I actually commit to, say, a yoga class. I did a 1-month committed yoga class a few months back, and it really helped me to push through my own whatever it is, my own blocks of like, okay, I'm sweaty now, I'm done, I did my 15 minutes, I'm over it. You can turn off the YouTube or whoever your teacher is at that moment. And so you can't do that in a yoga class. You're committed, you're there's 20 other people in the room. You don't want to walk out in the middle of class after 15 minutes, right? You're like looking around, you're like, hey, everybody else is doing it, I'm just going to power through and do it. So if that's what you need, I encourage you to go find some accountability partners. It really is helpful sometimes to have accountability partners. What I've done here on Kauai is I have some moms, and right now we haven't been doing it through COVID, but before COVID, we used to go on walks on the bike path at least once or twice a week. We would schedule a day. We would bring our kids with us and bring their scooters and bikes and whatever they wanted to play on, skateboards. And we would go on a walk as moms, and we would have conversations while the kids were going down the bike path. And that was rewarding to me because I was getting that personal connection with my friends. I was having a moment with other moms, but our kids weren't tugging at our pant legs the whole time going, Mom, 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 I need something, right? Because they're playing and having fun too. So try to incorporate those little things into your life. Back to the miracle morning, you know, find something that brings you joy. Whether it's writing in your journal, whether it's going for a walk or a jog or a bike ride around the block, whether it's, you know, if you have, you know, an elliptical in your house, maybe it's jumping on there for 30 minutes and doing your thing, listening to music that really makes you happy. The main thing is that you do something that brings you joy, because that's what it's all about. So I love being here with you all. Can't wait to hear everyone else's shares.
I'll share. I think this is my first time speaking on the Zoom. So hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. So something that I have been doing for this month is actually making sure that I get a full 100 ounces of water in a day. And I just invited people on Facebook to join me. So I love challenges, and just going off of what Nayeva said about being accountable, if we can't get together with people physically because of COVID or whatever, creating that community online. And I love getting on the Million Mom Movement calls, which is amazing. But then just making it really personal for you. So myself and Claire, we've been just co-facilitating this water challenge, and something as simple as drinking 100 ounces of water every day feels so good. Like I am less bloated, my skin is nicer, on top of taking my greens and all of those things. It's just, it feels so nice. And it's just a fun, easy, free way also of encouraging other people to stay healthy and do those little acts of self-love. So for me, giving back is a way of like filling up my cup, because I feel so good when I can like help other people, even if it's in just the smallest way of like telling them to drink water. So that's what I've been doing.
Whoever's next, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Catherine, are you reaching? I see you reaching for your phone.
Well,
You're up.
never. I actually don't have kids, so I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here, but
Yes, anybody who cares about health and the well-being
Okay.
of the planet, of the people, you're here. Welcome to the tribe.
thank you. I actually just joined in as a brand partner on Monday, so this whole experience is quite new to me. I've never done anything like this before, so it's really exciting. I have struggled a lot with self-care and self-love over my course of my life. And it wasn't until last year that I actually really started recognizing that I was putting everything into everybody else. I was always taking care of my partners or the people around me always. And I realized that was really getting me nowhere, because I was also attracting like really abusive people and things like that. So I was kind of like taken advantage of in a sense. But in the last year, I've done so much more for myself. I do I guess you called it the miracle morning. I've been doing like a 30-minute morning where I wake up, I give thanks, and I write, I do some movement in my body. So I'll do like, actually I keep a glass of water beside my bed. I chug that before I do anything. And then I give thanks and all the things and prayers. And then I start moving my body, and I do cat cows. I do 2 minutes of cat cow. I do some push-ups to get the heart going. And then I do a little bit of core work. And then I meditate for however long I have like available. And then I write in my journal. So I've been getting into that kind of routine, because before COVID, I would just work. So I still work 9-to-5 job, but I'm here now because I want to get away from it. So I'm kind of like trying to like do that move. But I was always working 9 to 5, and then I'd go right to the yoga studio and just do yoga. So that was kind of my life, and I didn't really do anything else except be the girl that sat on the couch and was waiting for life to happen. So I'm so grateful that I started doing this routine now, because it's actually changing my mindset. It's changing how I'm viewing the world, how I view myself, and things are actually starting to come now. Like things are actually coming because I'm doing the actions. And I never realized that's how it all works. Like I always thought I was doing so good, but really I was blocking a lot of my gifts and a lot of my abundance and things like that. So the more you do self-care, the more these things come to you, and it's just a beautiful place to be. Yeah.
Look at us. We're all like, yay, look at you go, girl. Whoever's next, go ahead and unmute yourself. I can only see one screen at a time. There are 3 of you. So go ahead and unmute. And if you come on camera, that'd be even better. Let me.
Hi, I can share. Oh, go ahead, girl. You could do it. Okay.
Naomi first, Cynthia next.
All right. I have been incorporating affirmations every day. Looking in the mirror and just saying to myself, you can do it. You're capable. You're strong. And praising myself when like something easy happens, like I got a sale, or you're creative, and just saying my name. And also, what's really encouraging is that when I do get a sale from Purium, my children say, "Mama got a sale from Superfoods," and they are just like my cheerleaders, and I just love it so much because I used to be in sales for 7 years with the #1 beverage company, Coca-Cola, and there was no cheerleaders like that. And I just have the best cheerleaders rooting me on now with Superfoods. And it's all with mindset, just like what the other girl was saying. We have to learn to love ourselves and believe in ourselves, and always praise ourselves, and look at and just say, like, Naomi, you are smart. Naomi, you can do this. Naomi, it can happen for you. Naomi, you will be executive. Naomi, you will be crowned. And you just have to believe it and saying it and love yourself and believe that you can do it. And everyone on this call can do it, because I believe in you and you have to believe in yourself too.
Cynthia, come on.
I'm here. I ran to my bathroom to put stuff on my lips. Can you see me? Anyways, I just wanted to share the way that I get things going. I'm on Kauai with Naiva. I have a fishing charter business. We're basically losing like so much right now because Kauai is closed. I am the mother of a special needs child. His name is Makana, which means gift in Hawaiian. And Makana is on the autism spectrum, has ADHD. He's got what they call oppositional defiance disorder. You know, when they told me that when he was 3, I was like, all 3-year-old boys are like that. But now that he's 11, I see it differently. You know, I understand why he has that label. Recently I joined as a brand partner under Naiva. I used the Purium products, you know, years ago through my daughter Sutton, is how I met Naiva. But on my journey with Purium and the Million Mom movement, it is all about like me trying to help my son. Having a child like this is super, super stressful. It's almost like unavoidable stress. I'm emotional because I'm hormonal. Purium's helping me with that. But anyways, you know, what I have to do every day, and what all of us I feel have to do in this universe every day, is mother ourselves, whether you're a mother or not. And that just totally lies in self-love. And like I said, I have unavoidable stress because of my son's behaviors that I am trying to curb and I'm trying to control through these superfood products. We are just starting a journey with him. And the ADHD is kind of diminishing because I'm giving him those pure protein amino acids. I'm going to be starting the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation next week with my daughter, my sister-in-law, and another friend, I hope. But you have to, I start my morning off by waking up. I do a daily devotion and a meditation, and I drink my green shake now. I started into my kit, so I've had to order more Power Shake because I'm like, forget this. I need this, because when you're nourishing your body with all that goodness, your second brain, and then it goes to your other brain, or maybe your gut is your first brain and your brain is your second brain. I don't know, but I'm just like, you have to, understanding the gut brain connection is very, it's there. It's very strong, and many of us here are aware of it. But I have to personally exercise. I've always been an exerciser. And so I just, like Naeva said, fit in 5 minutes, fit in 15 minutes, fit in 30. But like I said, I start with a devotion, a meditation, whether I'm in the Bible reading scripture, whether I'm praying for the world, being thankful for just what is, and accepting what is, and mothering myself, I guess, is a message I'm trying to convey here. So, in form of self-love, it could come in many different ways. And for a lot of us here, I heard, I think a few of us saying meditation, doing a little bit of exercise and this and that. And we can't forget ourselves, in the midst of everything that goes on, pre-pandemic, pandemic, whatever is going on in your life, you have to have self-love. Take care of this vessel first. And I think that's why we're all here. And I'm really excited. So thank you for letting me share.
Cynthia, thank you so much for sharing your heart with us and for allowing your emotions to come out, because this is a safe community, and I'm glad that you recognize that. And we have to end a little bit early today because this line is being used by corporate after we're done. So I'm going to wrap up here a little bit, but first I want to do something with everybody. I want you all to close your eyes. And one of the most important things we can do is what I call profound breathing. And I want you to breathe in on the count of 4, and I will count it for you. So start 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And can you feel how that just brings you right back into the now? And that is something that you can do very briefly and very easily, no matter what's happening in your life, to bring you back to this center. I am going to ask Carmela to come on and just briefly talk about our scholarship program, and then we're going to wrap up. Carmela, please.
All the feels. So breathing, how simple and profound, I was saying, and all of us as tools, have it as tools, and try that and drink a Power Shake afterwards. So the scholarships, oh, what a great topic. We just recently, this past month, hosted our very first sponsor training. And so we're really gathering community because it's been over a year now since the scholarships have launched. And we award 4 recipients monthly who are showing economic need, who are a caregiver, who are in the movement of many eligible. And we do direct application and interviews. And now we're refining our interview process because we do want to offer $1,200 now of superfoods over a course of 90 days as of this month. So there's a little shift that we're taking. And it's important to know, because what we are going is business forward. We want to look for those preliminary that are really excited about the business opportunity as well as the superfoods. And so we're actually asking you in the application process to also share a video, to share your story live. We want people who are comfortable sharing, because this is the movement. We need to expand and to make an impact, and that's how we grow our numbers. So for the business, if you're a brand partner here, know that that is really the way that widen your reach as a promo in our company. It has created huge shifts in businesses all in our company. And we want the same for you. You have the same opportunity as a scholarship recipient. So the 90-day manual is coming up shortly, and we love to work with the recipients. We have the Business Power Hour that's coming up this week. Is it this week? The third Wednesday of every month. So look on our Million Mom pages for the event page, and please always take a look. We focus on the recipients, and what else? We would always encourage them to come onto Fierce Friday too. So that's what we have as tools for you. And it's really a gift. It's a gift of creating a partnership with someone who you envision to take this and run, because how it can shift your business, having a partner who's a recipient. I have one who went fast start, and she just recently enrolled a new recipient. So I have 2 levels of recipients, and we're so proud of the Million Mom movement. I just got off of an interview about the Million Mom movement, and they were always interested to talk about the scholarships. What do we have available? So this movement is active. You know, Dave and Amy are dedicated to pour into our movement by giving and awarding these recipients. So the council here and those who are missing, we are so happy to continue the expansion till we get to 1 million strong. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you so much, Carmela. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to do a summary for everyone so you get it all in one shot. So next Wednesday, Tass and I will be hosting the company Mega Zoom, and my daughter's bouncing behind me, so sorry about that. We're getting our exercise. We'll be hosting the company Mega Zoom, talking about the Family Nutrition Pack. It's important for you all to know that the Family Nutrition Pack is a qualifying package to get the business for free. So if somebody buys that pack, they also get the business for free. So please join us next Wednesday night. Join us every Friday for Fierce Friday. Next week, we are going to be discussing how to have conscious relationships, be it with our partners in our life or with our children as a family. We've got some tools for you guys to help you with that process. Follow us on social media. On Facebook, our business page is Million Mom Movement. We have a private group, Million Mom Movement Official. On Instagram and Twitter, it's at Million Mom Movement. Make sure you hashtag us tag us in your stories and use our hashtags. Those hashtags are Million Mom Movement, I am the Million Mom Movement, and we are the Million Mom Movement, because in order to actually make us a million movement of many strong, we need more people. And so we're asking and calling on all of you, please, to get the word out, to share the petition, to share the scholarship opportunity with people who can use that business opportunity. Now is an amazing time. The company grew by 3 times last year, and we expect it to grow even faster this year. And so it's a perfect time to get into this business, to own your own business while making yourself healthy, your family healthy, and your community healthy. So I appreciate all of you joining us today. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. And one final reminder that we begin the Family Nutrition Makeover on February 15th. So have people order their packages now so they get that in time. And that's it for today. Thank you, Carmela and Tass and Naeva. And we'll send our love out to Rebecca and Stephanie, who weren't with us today. Thank you to the nearly 75 plus people who are on the call today. And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.